Welcome to a new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. Yes, finally, me and Joel are putting faces to the voices. We've been wanting to do this for a while. We finally got around to it, so you guys can see us do this more. I'm gonna work on getting us a whole video intro for Much to Do About Nothing. So be patient with me. It's a holiday season. People are still busy, so I'll have it turned out before the new year or around the beginning of the new year. So be patient with me. But welcoming in my co-host as always, Joel. What's up, Joel?
What's up, Juwaan?
Did you just tip your hat to me?
I tip my hat to you.
Is it wrong that I curtsied when you did that? I did the little curtsy.
I don't remember seeing that, but if you say so, I'll take it.
I did it. I did it. Yeah, I did it. Don't ignore me when I'm curtsying to you, Joel. All right? It's not often I put on my pretty dress.
I appreciate it.
By the way, shout out to Deuce McBride. Every day that kid gets a chance to play, he shows why he should be our starting point guard.
It's good, man. I like it.
Good.
Future is bright. I'm happy.
He dunked on that poor boy's soul. Goodness gracious. All right. So first of all, I want to start off with Joel. Actually, this past weekend went all the way to Boston. He got tickets to see the New England Patriots beat the Titans.
Right.
No, you guys know Joel hates the Patriots. Joel actually got to go see his Giants play. Yep. At home, obviously. Joel was not going into Philly territory to watch the Giants. Yeah. And the Giants pulled out the W. How did it feel, Joel?
It was very fun. I didn't go in expecting to win that game because we only had fucking 3 wins at the time. I wasn't getting my hopes up, but we have pulled off some more. Odds are bigger against us, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't really afraid of Philly going into Philly, considering they had 1 win over us. So, but at the same time, they were playing better, I guess, if you look at the week before. And comparing, like, we fucking shit the bed against Tampa Bay. Right. So we're a weird team, in that regard. But we just finished firing Jason Garrett, so we're like, let's see how different. And offense definitely didn't look that much different. I mean, there were moments where it kind of looked okay, but it's going to take a little bit longer than 1 game to recover from that, But yeah, I mean, I think winning it for Strahan, because it was his retirement ceremony. They retired his number at the game. Mm-hmm. That was cool. I was emotional. I recorded that. That was really nice. And yeah, that's like, I mean, we started the game with a turnover. Like, by the time we walked in the stadium, before I even sat down, we had a turnover. We took the ball away, so we had like 4 turnovers the whole game, I think.
They did it just for you, Joel.
They did. No, it was great to watch. It was a defensive game for sure. Offense had like a couple moments, but it was really more of a defensive minded game. Defense won it at the end, so I appreciated that. We just kept them to 7 points the whole game, and that was the Eagles team, and that boss. It was so fun every time they got close, because they did get 1 touchdown, but they got close so many times, and we just stole their souls in the middle of the game. And see that, because I went with Eagle fans, and there were Eagle fans around me, just to see their faces just go from so giddy to down.
Which is funny, because out of the 2 of you, they had the higher likelihood of making the playoffs based off of their record. So this is a game they needed, like desperately needed.
They definitely needed, yeah.
Yeah, especially with Dallas not necessarily playing up to where they should be. Correct. So it's like the more they slide and the more the Eagles win, it'll start to balance itself. But they keep just being the Eagles, they'll never do that. And look, me and Joel don't agree on a lot when it comes to football, but one thing we will always be lock and step with is fuck the Eagles, always.
Especially now, right?
Always. Like I said, I can never imagine what it would be like if Dallas won the Super Bowl, but I've experienced an Eagles Super Bowl win, and they were insufferable.
That was a very hard Super Bowl to watch. So.
They celebrated as if they were making up for 90 years of football being played.
Oh, they still think they're the shit. It's insane. I'm like, oh, relax. You got one championship.
I just hate that it had to be us. I'm not even mad they won. I could suck that up and say, you know what? We don't even live in Philly. We don't live anywhere near Philly. At the time, I think you did.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you did at the time. So that sucked for you. But for me, I don't live anywhere near it. So I'm like, I don't really know any Eagles fans except for my brother's friends. So life would have been fine if they beat Kansas City or Steelers or some shit. Beating us means I can't ever talk shit to an Eagles fan, even though we're technically 1-1. That win with Nick Foles, they feel as though just trumps everything. So worst thing ever.
It was a hell of a. I was like, yeah, definitely the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl would be worse, but still. Whew.
Yeah, I think that would be worse because I think you'd get a lot of fans out of nowhere. Like, you know, fair weather fans are like, oh, I've been a Dallas fan since forever. And it's like, no, you weren't. No.
I hate
you were
them.
not.
Oh, man, they're the obnoxious ass team.
I mean, I think I'd never understand that. I never understand a bandwagon fan. To me, I don't mind you just saying like, oh, I don't have a team. I just like the sport. And then I can accept it. So if one day you're cheering for the Giants and then the next day Cowboys, I can hang my hat on the fact that we could never talk football because you don't have a team. So I could accept it. But I hate when people are like, no, I'm a Cowboys fan. And then like Dak gets traded to Houston. I'm like, oh, I'm a Houston fan. Oh, that fucking ruffles my feathers.
I know guys like that too. They're like Shannon. Every time.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Hell, my stepdad is that. He just follows LeBron wherever he goes. And I'm like, bro, is that not tiring?
Yep.
Is that not? Do you not want to ever just plant your? So what do you do when LeBron retires? Do you just never watch basketball again? Like, I don't understand. I hate it. Yeah. I hate it.
My cousin was a Randy Moss fan, so wherever Randy went, he went, and he was he cried when we beat the Patriots. You don't even like the Patriots, fuck. Like,
wasn't the only one.
He's like, I wanted Randy to get the ring.
He was not the only one, man. I even was rooting for the 49ers that year. I'm like, well, shit, get Randy a ring that way. Couldn't even do that.
Yeah, that was funny though. But now he jumped on the Brady bandwagon, so he followed him to Tampa Bay because Randy's obviously retired now. So
he just goes, "Who's the next best player in New England? I'll follow that guy." Yeah, I'm gonna.
It helps that now he lives in Florida, but at the time he was living here. I'm like, he's such a front runner because he's also a Laker fan. I'm like, I can't imagine why.
He's like, winners. Yes, circle me in for all that. So was this your first NFL game?
No. I've been to a couple. I haven't gone in a while. It's been like 5 years since the last time I went. I remember because April was pregnant when we went. It was a preseason game. I have that picture. So that was 5 years ago. So yeah, the baby wasn't even born yet. So
yeah, I've never been to one. I've been to every other sport except for that.
Now I know. If it comes up, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
You can help cheer for the Giants. Let's go.
I think you're asking me to sell my soul. Am I willing to do that? I'd have to think on that, Joel. No promises. Yeah, I've been to arena football. I've been to hockey. I've been to soccer. I've been to baseball. I've been to golf.
Fuck.
Yeah. Hey, it was a chance to go. I'm like, fuck it. Okay. And that's it. Yeah, that's all the sports. Yeah.
I've been to both Yankees and Mets. I've been to obviously the Knicks and the old. I haven't been to Barclays. I've been to.
You haven't been to Barclays either.
I've been outside of Barclays, but not inside of Barclays.
The level of pride you said that with. I've been outside that motherfucker. Never in it. I've been outside.
What else? I've been to I've never been to a Rangers game. I've been to Devils games, a couple Devils games, but I've never been to a Rangers game. I went to one of the first games I went to was like Nets versus Sonics. It's old.
Jesus.
Yeah.
First NBA game was Melo, seeing Melo in the Garden.
Melo.
That was the game where J.R. Smith was untying Andre Drummond's shoes during the free throws. That was
I went for Pau Gasol's debut as a Laker. I was there for that game. That was I think it was against the Nets.
Oh my god. That was so fucking long ago.
Yeah. That was his first game. I was like, I'm gonna see that. Cool. He's gonna play.
Most of Kobe's kids weren't even born, I think, when Pau Gasol got traded.
Oh, I don't remember.
Gracious.
It was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, because I think his oldest was in college or going to college when Kobe had passed. I think he was going to one of their games.
They were young when he passed.
The two youngest ones, yes, were super young, but his oldest, Gigi, the one that passed, that passed with him, she was the oldest, and I think she was heading off to college, if not already in college.
I don't think she was old. I think the oldest is still alive. I think she was like the one under, I believe.
Oh, Gigi was the one under? Okay. So then the oldest one was
in college now or going to college. Yeah.
Because the oldest one is who he has the famous thing when he won the championship with Pau. Remember when he was older?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been to Knicks games. I went to a Knicks Hornets game, Knicks Heat game, but that was I had such bad seats for that game. I tried to move up. They kicked me out of the seats, so I ended up moving to the ESPN zone. We finished the game over there instead. I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna.
I never understand that. I never understand that. If it's like the fourth quarter, right, and the seats are just empty, don't make a fuss if I come down and sit in those seats. There's no one there.
It wasn't the fourth quarter, but it was like first quarter. Nobody was there, and it wasn't anybody like taking our seats. It was just the usher coming around looking at like checking tickets. I'm like, who does that? They don't do that in New Jersey.
I hate that. Yeah, don't come check my ticket. Clearly, bitch, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, clearly. Come on. Yeah. I'm supposed to be here. But speaking of the Knicks, let's head into the Knicks, Joel. We got word today that Kemba Walker is indefinitely out of the lineup for the New York Knicks. Essentially, the way I took it, Tibbs was pretty much saying, look, there's too much going on in the starting lineup, and he's not going to want to come off the bench. So I'd rather just not.
There's no room for him to come off the bench because he literally said it. He's like, I'm not playing three little guards. I'm just not.
Well, my issue with that, if you're starting Burks, right?
Yes.
Kemba can play off quickly the same way Rose does. And right now, Rose isn't healthy. So I'm like, utilize Kemba and just alternate them.
His problem, he was thinking about Rose coming back. So Rose coming back, then he's going to come out of the rotation. So I might as well take it out now. That's basically what he's saying.
Right. And I get you, but I'm saying those two guys cannot stay healthy, right? So just alternate them. Rose gets rest this day, Kemba plays. Kemba gets rest that day, Rose plays. I think it worked out perfectly for them.
That does seem like an option, but I don't know. It seems like right now he's like, just sit back.
So we essentially have our own. Clearly, it's a way cheaper price tag, but we have our own John Wall situation here in New York, which is like, hey, sit here. You still get money, but you're not playing, and I'm not trading. So like, he's gonna sit here.
If he wants to get traded, he can get traded. But like, it's like, first he needs to be wanted. He needs to want to be traded, and we hopefully get something good in return. It has to be worth it.
Hopefully, because I'm like, I don't know, and I said it before. That's why when the season started, after a few games, I've said this numerous times. It's just you look at that lineup, they all do the same thing. That starting lineup outside of Mitch just all does the same thing. So it's like, well, of course you're not going to get touches. All he does is shoot. What do you think he's going to want to do when he touches the ball? Shoot it. Mm-hmm. Realistically, like I don't understand. But my biggest issue with Kemba was he wasn't averaging high assists. So that means
he wasn't. My problem was that we just looked terrible defensively with him on the floor. Just bad. Like it was bad. Like, he would get steals here and there, but like defensively, we were bad, really bad. And it's like, Jesus.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused because I'm like, I'll never understand this, right? So like, let's say I'm giving you James Harden, right? You know good and goddamn well James Harden does not play defense. But you know this, right? Like, it's not like, oh my God, we've had him for 3 months and he just does not play defense. You know this coming into it. So I'm like, Kemba's already small. And on top of that, he's not really that eager to play defense, like actual man-on-man defense. So I'm like, but you knew this. We've had a career-long example of Kemba not doing that. So I don't understand when you brought him in. I don't understand what did you think he figured 30 a night and it would offset it?
They would figure the offense would have offset it. I think that's really what it came down to.
Well, but I say you this. We weren't losing games because we couldn't score the ball. We were losing games because we were playing bad defense.
I mean, that was part of it. Definitely part of it. Especially like in the third quarters. But we're obviously couldn't end games very well because of it. Because defense, it was the defense at the end. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, look, Trae Young had what, 30 something? We managed to survive that game, but literally no one.
We shut everyone else down pretty much.
Right. I will say it frustrated me so very much because I'm like, well, RJ, you say you want to be this defender. This is the game where you showcase it. This is the game where you tell people, hey, what I did to Jason Tatum wasn't, you know what I'm saying, wasn't just an off night for him. I just played really good defense. And I kind of felt like no one was making Trae Young uncomfortable. He literally continued what he did the last time we saw Trae Young.
It was the problem. He's such a hard person to defend because you don't even have to go. He was shooting from so far away. You're like, I haven't seen anybody shoot from that far away all year. I'm like, no one's ready for that most of the time. He scored like 9 points in a row because 2 of them were from fucking really far away, or one that he drove into the lane and stopped middle of the lane and had people crash into him. You know what I mean? It was like, God damn it.
With the shooting, though, you just got to play up. You got to give him no room.
Yeah, you got to play him full court.
You got to smother him. You got to smother him. You got to
smother him. Which is tough. That's tiring. It is.
And
you need a longer defender on him. It's obvious that bigger defenders make him more uncomfortable.
But that's why I thought this would have been a perfect time for RJ. You just got to smother him. This is a guy we're going to see very often over the next decade. So you got to figure something out. Like there will never be a Trae Young stopper. But I'm fine if he scores 20, 25 points on like 40 shots. Like I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay if he's getting to the line off those BS calls. But it's you giving him air enough to shoot it. Like I'll never understand that. Him and Curry, don't give them air. Like don't go, oh, it's at the logo. No way he'll shoot that. Assume he'll shoot anything once he crosses the line. Once he crosses the half court line, everything is game. You know what I'm saying? So but so I'm hearing RJ's not gonna play tomorrow. Taj isn't gonna play. Yeah, it's some kind of illness, not COVID though. You can double check that, but I heard he's dealing with some kind of illness. We got a tough stretch coming up, man, and we need this game more than anything. Joe Harris is out for 4 to 6 weeks, so they're missing one of their sharpshooters. So it really comes down to if we can stop Harden. Look, let Durant do what Trae Young just did the other day. Go off for 90. I ain't letting nobody else score though.
Yeah, we gotta worry about Patty Mills, Kevin Durant, James Harden. They're not easy people to guard, you know.
See, you know what, Joel? When it comes to a team like that, I take Durant out. Durant's one of those guys that if he wants to score at will, he's just going to score at will. We have nobody that could defend that. So it just comes down to Harden can't have a good night. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Patty Mills can't have a good night. Blake Griffin can't just miraculously drop 20.
Blake Griffin has been out of the rotation lately. I'm not really sure what's wrong with that. Not that he was doing anything anyway.
Oh, no.
Well, no, because Marcus Aldridge has been playing better. So
I'll never understand Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge. I'll never understand how in San Antonio you just didn't have it anymore. And then now all of a sudden,
He just wasn't. That last year, he was pretty much just going through the motions. He didn't want to be there. That's really what happened. But he was still playing well when he wanted to play well. And right now, he's doing the same thing in Brooklyn. He's just giving them whatever he can. Now, Blake ain't giving him shit. I don't know if he's hurt or he's just not playing well at all. So he's right now out of rotation.
Speaking of which, I did want to really quickly go over the Spurs because they are fucking horrible. This is watching Popovich right now is like watching Bill last year when the Patriots were they just looked fucking horrible. And it's just like, God damn, is this how it ends for you? Like, shit, Phil Jackson left on rings. Like, is Bill and fucking Popovich gonna leave on 7-9 and whatever the worst possible record the Spurs could get? I hope not. They're very talented. I don't know. I don't see a trade out there that could drastically turn this franchise around. I don't see it.
I don't know what they have to give to get. You know what I mean? That's
they have to have draft capital. They have to.
They have capital and they have some decent young talent, but nothing aside from like Murray that you're like, whoa. You know what I mean?
That's fair. You might have to just leverage your draft capital. I mean, that's a franchise that drafts really well, but they've just been kind of more so hit and miss since Kawhi, really, if we're being honest. I mean, Murray was a really good find for sure, but they haven't really had that guy since Kawhi. So I don't know what's going on with that organization. I don't know. And this might be the one time that I don't think you got to fire your GM and your head coach. I just think if you get better talent, Popovich can coach the hell out of anybody. So this is just sad to see the Spurs going through this. It's completely a rebuild year for sure. For sure.
Yeah, so. It is sad. I mean, they put money on. It's weird too because they paid to get what's his name, Doug McDermott in there. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna give much. He tries, but and then he's always hurt now. Apparently, it seems. They have Thaddeus Young, who had a great year last year, but they barely use him. They've been using him a lot more, but because they have need more than anything.
Right.
But again, wasted. And then so right now, who's been starting? What's his name? What the fuck is his name?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I forget his name. Somebody's starting at power forward now because McDermott's been out. Is it K-Debate? Yep. I know he has 3 names. I think that's his name.
Sounds right.
Yeah, it is. I was right. K-Debate. Yep, that's his name. He's been starting instead. He's been you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not great. So I mean that's what they have. Don't have a lot of depth. They're pretty lack of depth. They have a lot of wings. Don't have a lot of big men. That's why I never understood them getting rid of Samanic, who's actually been playing really well in G League. Good for him. Good for us. But yeah, they have no real. Their best players are Podol and Murray, and White's pretty good, and Keldon Johnson's not that bad either. Nice young guy. But those are basically their starters. After that, it's like Lonnie Walker's okay. Bryn Forbes they brought him back after he left, and he hasn't really been playing that well. Trey Jones hasn't really got a lot of minutes. Primo's their draft pick, who's another point guard. They have like 4. That helps. And then you have Eubanks. He's not that bad, but it's whatever. After that, they have no one. Vassell, but I guess he's hurt.
They have talent there, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to see them go out like that.
It'll be a while.
Pop way too much. I don't want to see that. And I love Murray too. I think Murray's great. So
he's good. Yeah,
hopefully they can figure something out and turn that around. Back to our Knicks. I'm seeing this a lot, Knicks Nation. You guys got to stop with this.
What's that?
Knicks don't need to make a trade. Again, whatever problems they're having, the solution is on that roster. I said this all year last year. The solution is on that roster.
That's right.
We are not the same Knicks that just don't have talent. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think a trade fixes anything. And let me please just nix this now. no pun intended. Miles Turner does not make the Knicks any better or any worse. He does not. He does not. Because you look at it like this, right? You go, all right, let's say Miles Turner comes here and gives us 15 a night. And gives us 15 a night, right? Let's just say 15 and 10 a night, right? You look at that and you go, okay, so that's just another body that's scoring. That's taking away from the fact that we have too much scoring in the starting lineup. Well, that's our. We have to spread that out more.
He's not a big scorer.
No, not at all. But I'm saying Evan Fournier right now is only averaging 13 to 15 points. So you now bring in Turner, who's now averaging that. Like at least Mitch, you don't have to worry about him averaging literally anything.
Yeah, you know that's the difference. The only difference is that Turner could shoot. That's really
that's all. That's all I'm saying. So, like Miles Turner is not Karl Anthony Towns. If Karl Anthony Towns became available, that moves the needle 100%. 100, and I just say fuck it. I don't care if 90 guys on this fucking team can score. Figure it out. I want Cat. But Miles Turner, nah, he doesn't move the needle enough for me. He just doesn't.
I like him, but he's not. He's not a back end. They'd probably want too much anyway, so I'm not willing to give up what they probably want.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's not even my mindset. But I mostly look at Miles Turner and I go, I don't look at Miles Turner and go, man, if we had him, championship, here we come. No. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it. And if we're trading or even thinking about trading this early on, whoever you trade for has to be the guy that you look at and you go, shit, now we're thinking championship, you know? And if you can't do that, then no need to rush a trade. Really quickly, I did want to talk about Jason Garrett being fired. I spoke with Joe and his co-host Mike on their show this morning. Okay. And I said I personally would have just left him. For the remainder of the season.
On the corner somewhere. Oh, no. Okay. We took it differently. I'm sorry.
For the remainder of the season. I apologize. And then when Gettleman's gone, you allow your new GM, to decide if he wants to clean house or not. But to me,
he's still going to.
Oh, no, for sure. But I'm saying at least give him the option rather than just cleaning house for him. Because what if he goes there and he's like, I fucking like that guy. Why'd you get rid of Joe Judge? I like Joe Judge.
Well, that's why Joe Judge is still there, and Garrett is not. Just in case anybody liked him coming in.
Jason Garrett, 100% was the scapegoat. 100%. But like I was telling Joe and Mike, I don't understand why they hate Jason Garrett so much because Daniel Jones's numbers this season aren't bad. They're not bad. Your offensive line is just putrid. Daniel Jones doesn't have time to make 2-3 reads. He can make a read, and by that time, he's running for his life.
The offense is also very fucking imaginative. It's the most boring offense.
That's fair. That's fair.
Now, can they block worth shit? No, the line obviously needs help.
Right. But Daniel Jones this year, Joel, had a 400 passing yard game.
Mm-hmm. He could do it. That's why I'm not. It's not a quarterback issue.
No, but I'm just saying, Jason Garrett, to me, I don't see where he was the issue. Now, if you're saying
I'm telling you,
very vanilla. If you're saying he's very vanilla in his play calling,
he's not creative.
Fair. So we'll see what this what his replacement can do over the course of the next few weeks. But also, I was speaking about Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley, there's no problem there. I think you just need to do with Saquon the same thing you did with Brandon Jacobs. You need to realize that Saquon can't be an every down back anymore. So just split carries. Have a speedy back and then your power back. Like you did the year you went to the Super Bowl with Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw. I don't see what the problem is.
We were earth, wind, and fire, baby.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, Saquon Barkley still clearly has some years left in him. But if you're asking him to be an every down back, I don't think his body has that anymore. So instead of doing that, have him goal lines, third downs. If you're looking for passing, maybe he can be your Christian McCaffrey, but have your speedy back that can do 1 through 3.
Yeah. Well, they don't. That's the problem. They don't look at him that way, and they should, because that'll extend his career.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to tell the guys this morning. I'm like, Saquon Barkley isn't a bust. He wasn't a waste of a draft. He's not one of those running backs who
He is
doesn't
if you
have it anymore.
keep using him the way you keep using him.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you use him better, you can give him a whole new shelf, a whole new shelf life. So to me, I don't think Saquon Barkley is done. I don't think he's washed up. I just think you need to utilize him better. And obviously, for a guy who keeps having injuries with his legs, stop using him as an every down back. His body is telling you, I ain't got it. I don't have it. So
he's explosive. You need to get him where there's space. Because honestly, he's not the best wiggle guy. He is just pure speed. Like,
you know who he reminds me of, Joel? And I don't mean by size. I just mean utilization. He reminds me of DeMarco Murray. Remember how the Cowboys used him, and then he went to the Eagles, and they were like, run left and right, and he was just, or rather east and west, and he's like, I'm a north-south guy. I can't do this. I can't do that. That's not in my repertoire.
I go forward.
Right. I just do this. I do this. If you need cuts and jumps, and I don't have that.
He could jump. I'll give him that.
Saquon?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I'm just saying, to me, you just got to understand. You got to understand your personnel, and I think that's the problem now. I don't think they fully understand their personnel.
They're just not willing to accept that. They need to adjust the way they use him, and maybe that takes a new offensive coordinator to go, let's be real, guys. Let's switch it. Because we used Booker a little bit during the last game. I just couldn't even tell when he was out there. So
to be fair, that's a lot of money to pay a guy to tell him, hey, you don't have to be our workhorse. You can just, you do a few downs.
You gotta adjust. Like, look at now, we're putting him on the bench. He feels is the best for right now, and it's a weapon, but it's a weapon that's just not being utilized correctly. So just sit him out. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do for the team,
Yeah. But the Giants are extremely fixable. Extremely, extremely, extremely fixable. I was also telling the guys this morning that they can't look back, right? Like, you can't. Mike was looking back and saying,
"Yeah, it hurts to look back. Don't do that."
Like, you got Saquon when you could have had Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, Lamar. And I'm like, bro, I think people keep forgetting. Josh Allen was trash his first 2 years. This Josh Allen you're seeing now developed. He didn't come into the league taking it by storm. He was horrible his first 2 years.
Always had an arm and legs, though.
No, that's fair. But those first 2 years, you couldn't tell. The man was a turnover machine. I know this because he's in my division, and those 2 years were cakewalks for that division. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think, was our biggest problem. And then you look at Lamar Jackson. When he was drafted, everyone kept saying he can't throw the fucking football. So I'm like, you were going to draft a guy that people were telling you could not throw a football over Saquon Barkley? No. And then Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, to me, is a great running back, just like Saquon, but he's very inconsistent. Can't stay healthy. Same as Saquon. Can't stay healthy. Can't stay healthy.
I don't believe that. Like, I think running backs should be by committee because of the fact that they're always fucking hurt.
Yes, I agree.
I don't believe I'm running on a running back all day because you're gonna break it down. It's like a horse.
To be fair, though, there are some guys that just have it. Like Adrian Peterson just had it.
There are guys. There are, but I'm just saying.
But when your star running back tears something and is out for a season, comes back and then is out for 4 weeks, you got to kind of piece it together. Shit, he's not meant for the long haul. So let me piecemeal it, see how I can duct tape this, and utilize him the best way that we can. But to continue to look at him and go, oh, he's 1 through 4. Well, good luck wasting all that money you paid him, if that's what you believe. So, But all right. Did you want to talk anything else about the Knicks?
No. I mean, did we talk about? We talked about Kemba sitting, but how do we feel about Alec Burks starting?
I don't mind it. Again, I've accepted the fact that Tom Thibodeau has no interest in a facilitator, so I've just gotten over it.
It's not true. As much as I think he trusts Alec. And that's the problem, is he trusts Alec so much. That for him, what worked last year was that Julius was the facilitator. You know what I mean?
Fair.
So I think it'll be a lot of.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
I think it'll be a lot of that going forward. So because Kemba has the ball so much, I think that's what hindered Julius a little bit this year, you know. And look, Julius, I like the fact that Julius is not forcing it. When he does force it, I get upset, but he's not forcing it right now. You can tell because he's not getting big point numbers. Now he's still having bad games, but like when he gets like let's say 20 points and he's not forcing it, that's wonderful because guess what? It's coming within the flow of the offense and he's making everyone else better. That's when we're flowing, honestly. At least the starters, you know.
Yeah, and look, you're right. Julius was our main facilitator last year, but you know what I mean when I say facilitator. I mean a guy whose first instinct is not to score or shoot. It's to set the table and then hand out the food. And again, that's not an indictment to Alec Burks. He's a scorer. You know what I'm saying? He's not the guy I'm expecting to be my facilitator.
We technically don't have one.
That slows the tempo? Not in their starting lineup.
A distributor? We don't have who distributes like that.
In the NBA or for the Knicks?
No, in our team.
Oh, no one. I don't feel as though
we don't have one. That's the problem.
That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying is that we don't have one. So to me, that is the Knicks' only problem. You have a starting four whose first mindset is only to score the basketball. That's the problem. No one's looking to do screens, come off screens, set it up, alley-oops. You don't have that.
He's our best distributor at the same time.
What, Alec Burks?
You said four. You said starting four who looks to score first. That's what you just said. No.
You said he's our best distributor.
Yeah, the guy that you just said is our starting four is our best distributor.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I thought you were saying Alec Burks. You're saying literally our number 4 position, Julius Randle. Okay, I agree with you. But look, I mean, Alan Hahn made this point. Maybe it's time quickly starts. And I think quickly is probably the closest thing we'll ever get to a natural point guard facilitator. Because he does look up for Obi. You know what I'm saying? He does do those things. So I'm like, for sure, 100%. I'd say Derrick Rose this year has been more aggressive though, very aggressive. He's been looking to score a lot, and it's like Derrick. God, he was open. Why'd you shoot it? Like, relax. But no, this is a big game against the Nets. Any game the Knicks play against the Nets will be a big game. And I don't mean a big game like, oh, if we lose, our season's in turmoil. I just mean you can't ever have the basement people thinking that they own the house. You don't own the house. You're in the basement. That's it. Simple as put. You're in the basement. You're basement guys. So it's again, you're basement guys. That's it. But the Knicks, I think right now are like 10-8. I think they're 10-8. 7th in the East. So I'm like, look, if you're the Knicks, the East is wide fucking open. We've shown that the Bulls, when it comes to us, are
11-9.
11-9. Okay. We've shown that the top of the East is extremely beatable. We hung in there with Milwaukee, right? We've hung in there with Chicago, beat them.
Milwaukee.
We beat them the first time. But only reason I didn't count that fully, Joel, is because they had a few injuries the first game.
They're still injured.
They were more
They're fucking always in. No Brook Lopez, no the DiVincenzo.
Middleton.
They're hurt. They're fucking hurt.
Yeah. But yeah, so Knicks, this is the time to start winning games and start showing people we're not to be messed with. We're 100% not to be messed with. So
yeah, now's the time to do that. Now, we'll see how this lineup holds up. They played well against Atlanta. And that young lineup like gave me an erection, so that was awesome. It was like,
bro, you know what? I can't even fault you. I got the same thing. I'm watching those kids and I'm just like, Tibbs, please break your one rule and let the bench just be the kids. Find a way to put Rose with Burks, with Fournier, with RJ, with Randall, and that's a starting 5. And then you bring in the kids. You bring in Sims, you bring in Obi, you bring in Grimes, you bring in Quickly, and you bring in McBride. And Mitchell Robinson, you'll fit in where you get it. Because I loved how they were running. They were so hungry, Joel. They were like foaming at the mouth in that Atlanta game. Like, Tibbs won't ever put me in a game again. I got to make this shit count. And they did. They
Played
did.
really well.
Playing
I
great.
was very happy, especially Sims. Sims looked good. I was like, very, very good young man.
So
Very good.
aggressive. I will say my only problem with Sims and Mitchell Robinson is their ability to adjust. So what I mean by that is I've seen Sims block a shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come down, set his feet, and then watch the guy go back up, and he like hesitates and doesn't jump. And it's like, I don't think I'll ever understand that. Like, you're so tall. Just put your hands up. Just at least put your hands up if you don't want to jump again. But him and Mitch do that so often where they're just looking. Oh shit, he shot that.
The problem with Mitch is he's adjusting to his newfound weight.
Mm-hmm.
But that might take him a little bit to get his, because right now he's slow. You can even see it. He's slow compared to the way he used to jump higher.
And
Because he's not. There's a lot of weight that he's not used to.
He's tiring a lot quickly. You're right. He's just like, fuck, this is a lot. Take me out. It's like, bro, game just
Either you gotta lose weight or you better just adjust.
adjust. Yeah, I'm with you. Adjust. Figure out a way to adjust because yeah, do something.
That was a lot of weight to put on. I think it's just taking him a lot of. That's why he's not as energetic as he used to be. Because there's so much extra weight now. He's like, I can hold my own in the paint, but can't get up as high anymore.
That was the thing that confused me when he put on all that muscle. I'm like, I don't think anyone ever thought Mitchell Robinson wasn't aggressive enough or strong enough. It was just the idea of just making sure he preserved himself enough to be healthy when we needed him. So when he put on all the muscle, I'm like, I don't understand. Is he looking to get more offensively in tuned in the game or something? Like
he doesn't want to get pushed around. You didn't need to add that much weight to.
Not that much, and I honestly never thought people pushed Mitchell Robinson around. So
he got bodied a couple times by like Drummond's ass. So you might remember that a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Pushing him around, but you know, that's because they're just bigger dudes, like thicker.
That's true. That is true. All right, let's move on. Shout out to Joel because we would not have Spider-Man tickets without him.
Oh, there's a whole story behind that shit.
It's funny because Joe was freaking out and he's just like, "Did you get yours yet?" And I'm like, "Joe, I'm not concerned." And he's like, "Why? You got it already?" No, because I tasked Joel with the tickets. I'm just sitting here with my hands behind my head. I'm like, I'm not even concerned because whatever Joel gets, that's what it is. I don't care what it is, how we see it, where we see it, whatever Joel does, that's what it is. Simple as that. And he was just like lucky, and I'm like, yeah.
It was a mission. I'll walk you right through. You want me to walk you through how that whole went?
Yeah, do it.
All right. So started last night at midnight.
Started on a stormy night.
So what happened was, I got excited, and everyone's like, I got on. I made sure to switch off my shit. I mean, make my adjustments, whatever. So it's a midnight, and I'm tired, bro. I had a long night, yesterday, long day. And so, fuck. I'm like, all right, can't wait to just get by. Hopefully, they learn from the last time. We're not gonna have any issues. Wrong. As soon as midnight hit, bro, it was crashed. Like the network was down. Every fucking ticket site. So we're all sitting there refreshing for an hour. I didn't get into almost 1:00 to get those tickets, right? Okay. I'm like, finally, I'm in. So now I get in, I go, I click on the theater, and they make you wait an hour to get tickets. So you're in line. 1 hour waiting. Ready? An hour wait. I'm like, oh God, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna just take my chances. And we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna wait in line. I'll leave my phone on, but I'm going to sleep. Right. So I did that. And every time I woke up, I looked at the phone. So I look up, half hour. I look up, 20 minutes. I look up 10 minutes. I'm like, great. All right. I look up 2 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, 2 minutes. So I get up, I go to the bathroom. 2 minutes, I'm waiting for them to throw me inside. I'm like, I get inside. I'm like, oh great. It says Staten Island. I'm like, Staten Island? I didn't click on no Staten Island. And I realized they logged all because the system shut down. Like the network was off in it fucking logged me out of my account. I had no idea. So I've been waiting an hour logged out of my account going in. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
AMC was just like, I don't know where you want to see this. Staten
I'm
Island.
like, Staten Island. I'm like, that was because I live so close to Staten Island, but I'm like, I'm not going to Staten Island. So all right, fine. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna go to New Brunswick now. I'll switch it up and go. All right, so I go. I click on the Dolby. Gotta wait in line again. I'm like, okay. It says half hour. I'm like, okay, perfect. I'll wait. I'll just wait it out. Half hour, 10 minutes, or whatever the fuck it is. I go, I lay down, I put my phone next to me because it's gonna be a little bit, but it's not gonna be like an hour. Right. So whatever. I doze off and keep looking, and then I realize, and I guess a half hour goes by. I look at my phone and I see the seating chart. I'm like, oh shit! Grab my phone. It is already fucking full. So there is no seats in Dolby, except like up front. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, I've been out, and it's 2:30 right now, guys. This is crazy. I go out and I go into the IMAX in New Brunswick. I go click on it. I click on IMAX. Now I'm in line again for an hour. Now it's 2:30. This is ridiculous. So I do the same thing. I put the phone down. I go back to sleep, and I do the same thing for an hour later now. So I'm waiting. I finally get in. I got the tickets. I bought like 4 tickets. It's like I'm done. It's 4:00 in the morning. I finally bought the tickets. Took me 4 hours, Juwaan.
How many tickets did you get?
I bought 4 of them because I'm bringing Autumn. So.
That's right. You did say you were. I can't wait to see. I really truly hope that she enjoys it as much as I'm hoping she does.
She'll love the colors. Like,
her shouting out names like, Dad, that's Electro. Dad, that's Lizard. You're just gonna be like, I don't know how you know this, but I'm so proud. Like,
I'm gonna have her watching the Spider-Man, the kitty cartoon, so she watches that. But we'll say she'll like it because she watches everything at this point. But this is her first Marvel movie. If she takes to it well, I'll put her through the ringer, even though she's only 5 years old. You gotta learn someday, Joel.
I'm gonna put her through a ringer. She won't sleep ever until she knows these Marvel movies front.
If you even pretend to know what you're saying, you're gonna sit through all of them now.
Now you got her half asleep, just faking it like, all right, who's your favorite in Avengers? I don't know, Superman. That's the wrong one. Watch it again. And it's like, no. Like, stop it. No, I mean, look, Joe said he was struggling through this. He couldn't get it. I think he said to like 6 a.m. this morning.
It's a bit.
I'm going to say this. Movie theaters, please implement this because you won't have this problem. If you're dropping a movie Thursday before the Friday release, right? Just open it from when your theaters open all the way throughout the day. So it spaces it out. So people are just like, well, all right, clearly I get off of work, but what if I get off at 3:00 and then I want to go see it at 4?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or I get off at 1:00. I can go see it at 2. Just expand it all day like you would Friday, but just start it the day before earlier. So it matters how many people can see it throughout the course of the day.
They do have earlier tickets. Like there's like 3:00 and 2 and shit like that, 4. Really? But I work. I can't be fucking like can't go early.
I have to see this shit 4 times?
That's ridiculous. I will not accept you watching it before I do.
Should have told me that shit. Now I gotta look it up.
Can't play your shit.
No, but yeah. So I mean, look, it's I told Joe, I said if it's this crazy for Spider-Man, I don't even want to know what Batman's gonna be. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. And the thing,
if it's anything, it'll be on par, but I don't know if it'll be worse.
I don't think anything could be worse. I think Star Wars was on par to that.
Endgame was bad too. Endgame took forever to get to.
I think they're more so on par. But the difference is with DC movies don't usually have anything that it's like, bro, you didn't see that opening night. You didn't see that blah, blah, blah showed up. So it's more so kind of just like, well, whenever we can see the Batman movies, when we see it.
Opening night. I mean,
No. What I'm saying is I'm not concerned about spoilers for the Batman movie. Like, what could someone possibly tell me that's like, what? I never would have thought that. Like, I can't fathom it right now. But this Spider-Man movie, there's a billion things someone could spoil. So it's like
there's so many rumors attached to it.
Right. So I'm like, the urgency is high. So I get that. I understand that for sure. But to me, no, DC movies usually don't have that cloud of like, shit, you didn't see it opening night, man. Damn, Batman got his head ripped off, and now there's a new Batman. It's like, wait, I'm sorry, what?
Especially one that doesn't connect to any current movie. It's kind of a stealing.
I mean, look, unless they catch us off guard and the shit does connect.
Yeah, that would be the surprise. Yeah,
that would be the surprise.
Whoa.
And then again, let's be a little realistic, Joel.
I try.
If Joker is in this movie, if Court of the Owls,
that's big.
That would be a huge spoiler. But that's really about it. It connecting Joker and then Court of the Owls. That's really it. Anything outside of that, I think me and you could have just assumed, just off of knowing Batman and in the character's history.
Right.
But yeah, all right. Let's stick in the Spider-Man vein. Amy Pascal as Amy I swear to God, I thought she left Sony. Every time I keep say Amy Pascal, I'm just like, I thought she left Sony. I thought she got promoted somewhere else.
She has her own production company, but she's still the producer, one of the main producers in the Spider-Man.
Essentially, like what Zach is, her name will always be on the bill.
Yeah, but she's more involved than the. Yeah.
Well, Amy is essentially telling us, "Hey, fuck everything Tom Holland said last week when he said maybe I don't want to be Spider-Man forever," and Amy was just like, "No, not forever, but at least 3 more fucking movies." Like,
I did say that too. He's like, he was only half wrong, because he did mention the 3 movies that until he's like 34 or whatever the fuck, because that's how long, by the time he's done with his 3rd movie.
Right.
So, but he also did say that maybe he's done now. I'm like, let's not be stupid, Tom. You're not leaving now.
Come on. You were 10 when you said you would love to be Spider-Man when you grow up. Now you're here. Don't pussy out.
Don't be silly. Negotiating money right now in public.
I said the same thing about Tom Holland that I said about Robert Downey Jr. when it seemed like before Civil War, he wanted to step away. I saw some of your movies that you stepped away to do, Robert Downey Jr. Them shits was ass. Stick with Iron Man. In Tom Holland, I saw Cherry. Stick with Spider-Man.
It was not that bad.
You said Cherry wasn't that bad?
No, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't good enough for him to feel comfortable enough walking away from Spider-Man.
No, I mean,
like at least when Chris Evans left Captain America, he did Defending Jacob, and that show was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, but that's not gonna pay the bills.
First of all, yes, it will. It's just not going to pay you $190 million.
It's not going to pay the bills that he probably has. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm
because of that Captain America money.
I'm sure doing Captain America for that long just raised his price tag for really anything. But Amy Pascal did also say we could see Spider-Man, Miles, and Venom all within the same nice little nest, I guess. But I mean, I just hope what she's alluding to is what I told you should be exactly what happens. Just give Miles to Sony Universe and then just bridge them. That's it. Say they're in the same universe. They're not separate. He doesn't have to travel. We don't need Madam Web's stupid ass to travel. Same universe. It's just Peter's focus is Avengers level shit. And, of course, they got Sinister Six coming that he's going to have to worry about. There's some stuff Spider-Man's going to have to worry about. And you can allow Miles to do shit like Prowler and, I don't know, whatever else he fucking deals with. But, Joel, what are your thoughts on Amy Pascal confirming what I think we could have maybe assumed, which is Spider-Man's getting 3 more solo movies, not just 3 more projects, 3 more solo movies.
Right.
And the idea that we could see Venom, Peter, and Miles together at some point.
That would be cool. What do I think about it? I think, like you said, like we kind of had an idea that it would happen, like that he wouldn't just, this wouldn't be his last movie. He's, first of all, he's too young, and we haven't had I know we've had a lot of Peter recently, but like he's just getting into college. It's still too young, in my opinion. Like there's still so much more we can have with Peter, and then of course integrating Miles, and then of course eventually passing on the torch is where it should go. That's how it should end for Peter, but that's later on, not now. I think it's still too soon.
I was saying
I love it, but
I was saying this when we were doing the MCR, because Trayvon was asking me, what do I think Hawkeye's fate will be at the end of this season? I'm like, fate? I'm like, why do you guys put it out of the realm of possibility? He just fucking retires.
Yeah.
Why do people have to die?
Not everyone has to die, people.
I'm like, so I feel the same about Peter Parker. I know in the comics he died, but I don't think you should do that. I think you should just have it to where he feels comfortable with Miles being the new Spider-Man. Miles has had time under his belt. He's proven himself. And Peter just wants to be with MJ or the actual Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, whatever the hell we end up with in Spider-Man's love life.
By that point,
retirement is an option. Just because Stark and essentially Cap to a degree died doesn't mean everyone has to go that route. You can just retire.
Absolutely.
If Black Widow was still alive, she would have still given Yelena the mantle and just retired.
Yeah, it's okay to retire. It's just, we just haven't seen it officially yet by anybody, but
technically Cap.
I mean, yeah, Cap is technically right. He's the one that retired. He aged up and retired.
He lived life and said, I'm done. It's like, Cap, there could still be someone. I'm done. Take it.
I'm good.
Take it. I had enough of this.
I had a run. Thank you.
I had 2 full runs. I'm good. But yeah, to me, I'm just like, I mean, the story, it's telling you what Clint's fate is. The man just wants to get home for Christmas and spend time with his family. So they're telling you his goal is to not be a superhero and to just be a dad. So I'm like,
if you watch Legacy, it's like that's been his goal for several years. He just can't seem to get out of it.
I swear, it's like, just when I think I'm out, they
pull me back in. Yeah, that's Hawkeye in a nutshell. Like, God damn it.
To me, I don't think Hawkeye needs to die. I don't think I need any more Avengers to die. Just retire. If the actor wants to walk away, just retire. There's so many young versions of so many different heroes in the Marvel universe that you can just say, well, just pass it on. Pass it on. And then if you ever want to come back, doors wide open. You can come right back. But killing people off, we got to stop that in superhero movies. We really do. Because I'm telling you now.
So make a comment.
But to me, Joel, I kind of feel like what they're trying to pull off with it never does anything for me. Like Stark dying, I didn't go, you know what? This is exactly how it had to end. No, I remember leaving that movie going, the fuck? What? No. Do some hocus pocus shit. Bring him back. I don't understand. Bring him back and then he just retires. Yeah. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't need any more of my superheroes dying in any medium. Any medium. Just retire. That's it. If an actor says I'm done, retire or recast. Those are the only 2 R words you can go with. Retire or recast. Death is out of the question.
Well, don't need. I mean, if you need to kill people here and there for the story, I guess, but like, I don't need it often.
If you want to kill people, you can kill people in their lives. I don't want you killing heroes, main heroes. At that, no mas, no mas, no mas. Because to me, like I said, Joel, at the end of the day, they're based off comic books. It should feel like that. It should feel like that. And any given day in a cartoon or a comic book, you just go, God damn, didn't Flash die fighting Brainiac? How the fuck is he here? Don't matter. He's back. That's it. Simple as that. Don't even matter. He's back. Fuck it. Who cares? But speaking of Hawkeye, Joel, we did not get a chance to talk about the first 2 episodes on this show because they obviously came out Wednesday and we did our show Monday.
Right.
What were your thoughts on the first 2 episodes?
It was awful, Juwaan. They were, awfully great is what they were. They were really good. They were really good. I really enjoyed them a lot. Right from the beginning, I saw them again during the weekend, and I loved them again. It definitely had a holiday feel to it, with Christmas feel to it. Definitely had a lot of callbacks to the Matt Fraction comic. If you read those comics, and there's a lot of little Easter eggs if you're paying attention. But also just like it makes you like appreciate Hawkeye, like Clint Barton especially, a little bit more, and you get to see so much of Kate in very not and yeah, very little time. You get basically her whole young life out of the way within a couple minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's like, wait, what? She was 10. How is she an adult? Don't worry, no questions.
Yeah, I really appreciated that opening like scene with her like back like her training and shit like that, because it obviously opens up with her fine like with the attack in New York and her in the whatever the apartment in New York, and obviously they have money. So I was thinking as I was watching, I'm like, man, that had to be fucking frightening, because you're like living life, and then there's like aliens show up and start shooting shit. Like, that's fucking terrifying. So the first thing she said, they blow a hole in her kitchen or living room or whatever the fuck.
No, their bedroom.
Bedroom. And like there's now a giant hole, and she's looking out and she can see this fucking the Chitauri flying right at her.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets blown up. And then we find out obviously she's on the corner like during the movie where Hawkeye was fighting and where Iron Man left him. Yep. Is what she sees, and that whole sequence is in sync if you're paying attention, which is really awesome. And that's where she kind of fell in love with the idea of Hawkeye. And like, what does she want after her father dies? And she's like, I want a bow and arrow.
It's like, you don't even want to mourn a little bit more? Nope. Completely good. Give me a bow and arrow. It's like, okay, all right.
And then, like I said, the opening sequence with her shows her training in archery, shows her fencing, gymnastics, martial arts, and her first and it shows it off like starting and like losing and then getting better and coming back and winning all these trophies and luck. I mean, it's really good that her mother had all the money in the world to put her through all that, because that had to be expensive to take her through all that shit.
Has to be, for sure, for damn sure.
But that was a really cool sequence. Obviously, there's the mystery of her father's death, because we never saw him die. Died off screen. So we never saw that. Then there's it jumps to the future. She's coming back home. She's basically suspended from school because of the whole bell tower thing. And then we got the little teaser that I guess it was a school that was named after Obadiah. Stain some shit.
It might have been
maybe it was just a
what do you call it? A wing, maybe that was
right.
That was donated or some shit. Like
right, that. by Obadiah Stane. Because it says his name and some shit. So yeah, maybe it was like a hall or some fucking shit. Anyway, the watch targets should be, I don't know, what was it for? Why'd they do that? I forget why. I think they said it, but I forget what it was.
No, she wanted to prove how good of an archer she was. So they were telling her, I bet you can't hit the bell.
Well, yeah. She did, but then she, like, I didn't hear shit, man. It just bounced her.
Like, try again, and it's just like, all right, I'll get the bell ringing.
Yep, she got the bell ringing, and then fucked the shit up. Yep. So then she got suspended. She went back home. It's Christmas time. Clint went to see the play that they called Rogers. It's just called Rogers.
Rogers the musical.
Rogers the musical. Oh my god, that would be my worst fear. But I guess it was for him too, because he watched that shit with his fucking hearing aid off. So we feel it. We're in the same environment. He's like,
yeah, all of us were just like, no.
Yeah. I think the best part about that musical is that none of them were in costume. They were all like, it looked like they were in street clothes. I'm like, I guess that's an interpretation of what it looked like. And Ant-Man was there. Like, okay, Ant-Man wasn't there.
We're just bringing in different Avengers. It was like, wait, he wasn't there. What?
Yeah.
Ant-Man was there. Do you know how much easier that whole mission would have been? They could have solved that shit in the first 20 minutes of that movie.
Should have been Ant-Man and the Wasp, but yes.
Call Ant-Man. Let's nip the shit in the bud right now.
Get it over with. But yeah, that musical happens. Yeah, so him and the kids, I guess they got invited to the play. And obviously, while they're there, they're going.
Because his youngest son looked bored. His daughter kind of was just going through the motion. So was his older son. So I'm like, no one looked like they wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Why are they there? Like, why are you there?
Yeah, I think they got invited.
Like this, literally just like,
oh Lord, John, bro. I hope they invited other people. Like, who else is left, right?
Why they were there? They didn't seem like they were enjoying themselves.
Right, exactly. So it is what it is. That play happened, and they're promoting that play all over the city, which is hysterical. Like Rogers, like Hamilton.
Actually, did you hear the what'd you call it? I don't know if he was the art director.
The showrunner?
No, not the showrunner. I think it was like the art director or something. Said every day before coming into work for Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And see the Hamilton thing. Hamilton. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I did hear that. That's where they were inspired by the Rogers play. It makes sense. I mean, Hamilton was huge. It still is huge. So that to be inspired a Rogers play. That's imagine they left halfway through that. So I wonder how far it goes.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that. Because I'm like, I'm always very confused on how much everyday people know about how Endgame ended.
But as you saw, it's their interpretation, and not all that was accurate. So you're like,
right. Yeah, it was super inaccurate.
Here, it's all hearsay. You know, a lot of it's hearsay. I mean, some people know he's Hawkeye, but don't know what his real name is. You know what I mean?
Me and you talked about it where we were saying that when Monica Rambeau and them were talking about the events of Endgame, they were talking about it, but none of them were there. And then someone in the group chat or whatever was saying, well, Clint was working for the government, so maybe it was a chance they debriefed him. And I'm like, oh, okay, well then that would make sense if he got debriefed. That would make sense. But if not, how Monica and them know specifically events that happened during that battle was very. Right. They were saying it like they were there, like you didn't see when Captain Marvel stood up to Thanos. It's like, bitch, you didn't see when Captain Marvel stood up to Thanos. Why are you saying that like you were there? So yeah, I'm very curious to hear. I would like to hear more people talk about the events of Endgame, so we can have like just a clear idea on how much people know.
I think all of it, word of mouth. So you got to always go like, this person said this, maybe there's a book out. You know what I mean? That we don't know. There's a lot of shit.
I'm just picturing Wong was just running his mouth. He got super drunk one night and was just
there was a lot of people in that fight. Could have been a random fucking monk. It's like, look, this is what happened. I told you what.
He's like, look, I'm going to sell the rights to this book and make a shit ton of money.
Somebody was trying to make money off of that. It was Howard the Duck at the He's stuck on it. He's like, I got memoirs of Endgame.
By the way, just so you listeners know, if you zoom in really closely on the third portal that opens, Joel is just crouched down with a pen and pad. It's just crazy. Not only is Joel there, but what's his name's cameraman from Eternals is right behind.
Yeah, what's his name? Fuck.
You don't write. I got filmed. We're gonna make
cameras up his wazoo. Yeah, he was the cameraman during the battle. That's why they got footage, drone footage from that fight.
His butt just hovering above the battle, just recording everything. It's like, God damn, he's good. He's good. But no, go ahead.
No, I'm pulling up his name now. I keep forgetting it.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it too. One thing I did like about this first episode was when Kate asked Clint about his hearing. And when you think about it, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, especially when Hulk snapped, right? And then Thanos blew up the Avengers compound. I was the only one standing there that either didn't have super strength to like block the explosion or a suit. Yeah. So when that explosion happened,
that was his name.
What was his name?
Karun.
Okay. Which, by the way, can I just say this? Ant-Man is fucked up. That explosion happened, and Ant-Man didn't even turn around to Clint. He just said, "Oh no, fuck this."
He said, "Oh,
I am about to die."
Everyone, a lot of shit going on. He got chased by the fucking those what are they called, the
Pin particles?
No, the monsters. I mean, he got chased.
Oh yes. Yeah, Clint had it bad, man. Clint had it real bad.
He's like, "Oh, motherfucker."
Like, why? I don't have any abilities. Why did they leave this to me? Like, what is happening? But yeah, I'm glad they put that in there because the man's been through a lot of explosions, going through glass. A lot's happened. A lot's happened to that man. So I appreciated that they showed us that.
He's underappreciated in my opinion. And the more people hate on him, the more I enjoy him. So
I guess I just don't understand what they don't like about Clint. Because I don't
get it. I don't get it either. But
whatever you don't like about Clint is the exact same thing Natasha was. So,
I think sometimes like he's just not as attractive as everyone else. So automatically he should die. I'm like, ouch.
You mean like physically, or you mean physically, like character?
I think he's just not as attractive as the rest of them. So it's like he should die because he's ugly and not because he's,
Yes.
Now obviously that taste is different. So he's obviously not ugly to everyone. But I think for some people he doesn't woo you as much, so he should automatically shouldn't be there.
Luckily for us, our taste is in the females, and there's female in the MCU. So.
At this point, it's more like pity for Clint. Like he deserves better.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they were just like, you know what, Clint is so ugly. We're gonna do this show, and we're gonna surround him with nothing but attractive people.
Yeah, that's it. Becoming even more attractive people now,
so we can heighten how ugly he is, so he understands. We gotta pretty it up. You're pretty bad to look at.
Or Clint.
I'm with you, Joel. I appreciate Clint. I told you, seeing the whole nail thing in the comics, in the Ultimate Comics, is what made me a Hawkeye fan.
Yeah, the Ultimate Hulk, yes.
Yeah, I had just never seen some shit like that. I'm like, you could do that? He killed people with fingernails.
Pretty nasty.
I was like, that's something. But I listened to Kevin Feige. He was saying that there was Avengers: Age of Ultron, where Hawkeye was giving the speech to Wanda before they ran out.
Yeah.
He said that was the moment he knew Hawkeye needed his own show or movie or something. So he had been sitting on it since that moment, and I was just like, oof, good things came out of Age of Ultron. God bless Feige. Oof, yikes. But no. So I mean, yeah. So we get Vera Farmiga's character in Evelyn. Is it Evelyn?
Eleanor.
I knew it was something like that. I was gonna say Irene. Eleanor Bishop, and clearly she's hiding some shit. She's hiding a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Whole bunches of that shit. We also get Jack Duquesne, or Jacques Duquesne.
Jacques in the comics, Jack in the show. Yes.
AKA the Swordsman.
Swordmaster.
I like Swordsman. Fuck Swordsmaster. Do you think we'll get Trick Shot?
I've heard rumors that we might, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Well, it depends on if there's a connection to Clint or not, because technically Trick Shot is his brother. But
I was saying this because I think Tia asked me. Tia asked me, was it Tia? No, I think Joe asked me when I did the recap with him and Kitty over the weekend. He asked me, do I think that they'll go the route that Jack and Clint know each other? And I'm like, well, I mean, you would have to, because then it would make no sense for you to bring Jack into this story if you're not making it that Jack and Clint know each other. So that would be really, really confusing. Like, you went out of your way to not make any sense. And look, fuck, Marvel's done it before, but don't do it again. So I heavily believe Kate will finally go, Clint, I know who's behind this all. It's this guy, Jack, that's engaged to my mom. And he's like, Jack who? Jack Duquesne. And Clint's gonna go, no fucking way. No way. No way this guy is popping up in my life now. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, if they don't know each other, I'll be very disappointed. That's a waste. That's a complete waste.
Yeah, it'd be a nice look into his background if we get that.
Right, because I'm like, we got a whole look into Natasha's background in Black Widow. So I'm like, to not do anything about Clint's background would be weird, very weird.
Waste.
Yeah, like essentially, then just call this show Kate Bishop, so we know that the focus is purely Kate. We could care less about Hawkeye. But anyway, so yeah. So I mean, this first episode, obviously, we get the auction. It's our first time seeing the Tracksuit Mafia, aka Tracksuit Draculas. We also get to meet Lucky, the dog, but he does not have a name yet. So that'll be interesting to see who names them. Because that was Clint's dog in the comics, but they're making it Kate's dog here.
He found him. Basically, it's almost similar way. In the comics, he saves the dog,
right,
from an accident, but the dog was already all fucked up, lost an eye. They took it to the vet. He lost an eye, and they ended up adopting it because it didn't have an owner or whatever. So that's really what happened.
And we're seeing that's essentially what Kate's storyline was.
Right. Yeah. That whole saving, like the car thing that she jumps in the that happened in the comic, but with Clint.
Right. I was saying this, Joe. I know we're fast forwarding a little bit, but we don't have to go step by step. We can just point out the big moments.
Right.
But Kitty was telling me that she looked on IMDb, and apparently there's a certain and this isn't. I'm not talking about Kingpin, so guys, calm down. But a certain character. You know what? I don't have to hide it because it's not a spoiler because I don't even think it's true. But apparently, Yelena is slated for 4 episodes.
How many episodes? But she is in it. I just don't know how many episodes.
Like, there's no way. And because I was telling Kitty, IMDb and Wikipedia, they're not the most trustworthy. So I'm like, just because it says it, that doesn't necessarily really mean anything. They could have just gotten it wrong. I don't see how Yelena is in. Because we know, Joel, just from the trailer, what we can expect from this next episode. This next episode is the car chase, and then it's the shot where they're both shooting the arrows onto the train. So I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck Yelena would even pop up in this next episode to be in the next 4.
We don't really know what's the next episode aside from possibly that. Like, honestly.
Here's another reason why I don't think Yelena's in this next episode. You've just introduced Echo. And you didn't even introduce Echo. You just showed her, and that's it. So I'm like, we don't even know who your fake bad guy of this season is yet, and you're bringing in someone else that's trying to kill Clint? That's too much too soon.
He's going to be chased by a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm like, let's let Echo breathe for a second. Let's see who Echo is before you're just like, no. Here's more people to kill Clint. It's just like, can I get more of these people trying to kill Clint? So I personally don't think that. I don't think that's true. I think she's maybe in the last 2 episodes, if that. But no, I mean, I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, man. It was chock full of great story, great action, and a lot of heart. A lot of heart. It's cool to see this side of Clint.
I agree.
It's kind of like when I watch Die Hard with a Vengeance. I think that's the one I'm thinking of with Jake Long. And you got to see John.
Vengeance is with Samuel Jackson.
Is it Live Free, Die Hard? Yeah, Live
Free. It's Live Free. I think that one is it.
And you just got to see John McClane more so as a dad, right? Where it's just him, just him focusing on being a better dad. It's just I've never seen this side of John McClane. It's new. So seeing Clint not really as badass Clint, just more as dad Clint, you know? So you're getting another character. So it's pretty cool. I always said the comparisons, everyone always said the comparisons is to Die Hard. I'm just saying I think this might be more so Live Free Die Hard than the first Die Hard, where it seems like everyone's trying to connect it to that one. Because you just have an older Clint who just wants to retire. That's all John McClane wanted to do in Live Free Die Hard before having to team up with Justin Long, like Clint's having to team up with Kate. So I compare it to Live Free Die Hard more so than But all right. So, was there anything else that stood out to you on the first 2 episodes?
Anything else stand out to me in the first 2 episodes? I mean, it was like you said, we got to see the tracksuit mafia. That was cool. We get to see the Ronin outfit again. I like the little sparring match between Kate and Jack at the dinner. That was cool. I always like that. Like I love her prodding him, and then he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not letting you win. You win the championships. You're good." I don't He's such a dick. I'm like, oh,
No, bitch, I don't want to get out of my face.
It just made me laugh when he was doing that because I'm like, he's obviously fucking lying. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, that was funny. I love that second episode. It was funnier than the first one. That shit was crazy. The tracksuits people are so stupid, yo. Bro. Oh, those guys are so funny though. What else? Like what? I mean, the whole question of what the fuck what did they want with that watch? You know, what was it with that watch? You know, which that's the mystery of the watch. We don't know what the fuck was up with that. What else? Obviously the shady shit between Jack and Eleanor. What's good with that? And then, like you said, we got to see Echo at the very end. You know, she's like feeling this vibrate. I'm very curious how she's gonna portray her. So, because obviously she was in that clip that you were talking about that we might get in the next episode when they escape.
Right.
She's at the very end when she pops out of the car and she's helping them shoot shit. I'm like, okay, so she's trying to kill these motherfuckers.
You know, it's very interesting because Echo's character is literally essentially a different version but same version of Taskmaster. So I'm very curious if that's why we got a very watered down Taskmaster in Black Widow, because Feige was just like, well, Echo's gonna have her own show. You probably won't ever see Taskmaster again. So I gotta kind of make it so it's not literally, because remember, that was more so technology. She didn't memorize anything. It was the technology feeding it to her.
Right.
So he was going out of his way to say, no. Forget what you know Taskmaster to be. That's what we need Echo to be.
It was like a different version. It was like similar, but it was like you said, it was more tech based, where like the computer was recording and then she would mimic it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And where this is like, it'll be more classic Taskmaster, even though it's also Echo's ability too.
Right. Really, when they were creating Echo, they were just like, we're out of new ideas. Who do we have that we could use somewhat of what they do? And it's like, I don't know, Taskmaster. Perfect. Fucking.
You know, she has same ability as time. Do it.
You're it exactly.
Taskmaster even alive right now? Fuck it, go with it.
But I will say, I know a lot of people want Hawkeye to connect to Daredevil. Trust me, no one wants that more than me and Joel. You know the main reason why, Joel, I want to see.
I will cry. Joel, I will cry.
I want to see Daredevil mesh with Hawkeye, because I do want to see Hawkeye versus Bullseye.
That would be cool. That would be really, really cool. We probably never will, because I don't know if Clint will be around. You know, it'll be Kate. You know, which would be cool. That'd be cool too, unless we get Lady Bullseye as well.
Wait. Shit, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil anything.
I saw it. That she's there.
Okay. Because last time I spoiled something for you, I didn't sleep for 2 days, bro. So
I just saw it today that she was in Hit Monkey.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that's not a spoiler, guys. Lady Bullseye is in the trailer for Hit Monkey, so that's not a spoiler.
You keep an eye out, man.
Right. You know what, Joel? You know what? I'm with you. I would like that. I would like if Daredevil is canon to the MCU. Because right now Bullseye's out of commission. He's having his back realigned right now. With the
it depends if they keep that canon, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If they keep it canon, which I hope they do, because I'm totally fine with Bullseye being Daredevil's villain again, and Lady Bullseye being
Okay. Well, Kate. Okay.
Right, the trick shot to Kate Bishop's Hawkeye. So how Clint had trick shot, her trick shot is Lady Bullseye.
Lady Bullseye, yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I just it's two great characters I don't want to see go to waste, and I don't need Lady Bullseye in Daredevil. I want Bullseye. We didn't get into
Bullseye. We didn't. Yeah, we got some of Bullseye.
Right, we got
like the birth of Bullseye.
Right. I want the more comic accurate Bullseye. And I'm not saying that version wasn't, but anytime you're not in the suit, you're not the comic
version.
You're almost there. So hopefully we do get something like that. Now, to move off of Hawkeye, I do want to ask you this: how much? And you already know how I feel, so I'm not going to go into it because that's not the people we are. But you know how much do you trust Grace Randolph?
50-50.
As Kanan posted today that a major MCU villain has reportedly been secretly cast, and it's between Galactus, Doom, Mephisto, and Magneto from Grace. Now, again, you guys know how I feel about Grace, so I did not look into this any more than just seeing Kanan's post. So
I saw it too. I don't know if it was from Kanan, but I did see that going around. I didn't know where it was coming from. But I guess I haven't seen anybody else talk on it yet. So I'll know. I guess I'll know a couple days. Other people will start chiming in. That sounds like it's all about word of mouth. Like I've heard that or I haven't heard that. It's really that. That's all it really is. So we'll she's hit or miss. You know what I mean? She could be onto something, but not 100% onto it. You know? She is not Bullseye. Put it that way.
Not Lady Bullseye, you're right. Only one of these four that makes the most sense because of the rumors we had been hearing all this year is Magneto. Because if Magneto's in Multiverse of Madness, then it makes sense that he's already been cast because the movie is going through reshoots now, but it's already been filmed. So he would have had to have already been cast. So that's the only one of those that makes sense. We're way too far out from Galactus. I don't want to hear anything or see anything.
And it's possible it's Doom. Like if it's a tease inside Black Panther, like he's not in it, but he's in it. You know what I mean?
Do you think they would mention him or show him before even getting Fantastic Four?
It's possible to be different, you know.
That's interesting. Okay. I told you before, we talked about this years ago, Joel. Before Submariner even came into our brains, we said years ago we would prefer a territory war between Doom and T'Challa. So if he is in it, I think it's too much to have Submariner and Doom.
That's what I mean. I don't think all three would be in it. I do believe like it could be like a cameo, like at the end, like a post-credit tease type bullshit. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. So by then they do have someone casted. But if it's someone in a mask, you don't really have to cast anyone. That's the problem too.
That's what's confusing. So that means you're doing an origin story. That means if you casted him, he's actually Victor. He's Victor. He hasn't become the arc of Von Doom yet, really. So
Victor Von Doom, he's not Doctor Doom.
I don't like that either, because you said you don't need a Doctor Doom solo movie. So if that's the case, then I don't need to see how he becomes Doom. He should just already be Doom.
I don't normally need villain anything, but
no, that's fair.
Right, everyone's very much like, there's a difference. I'm like, normally, yeah.
I don't need to see him becoming Doom at any point. Then just have him already be Doom. He could through dialogue say what happened to him or a quick flashback, but I don't need him as Victor and then we see him become Doom. I don't need that. All right, let's move on. Let's see what else we got. Oh, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Today would have been his 45th birthday. So rest in peace, our King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett gave us a little 30-second teaser. And we now know that it will consist of 7 episodes. So again, my question is, I'm really starting to think, Joel, and it's really starting to really freak me out.
What?
I don't think they have anything in the first quarter, show-wise.
We'll see. I mean,
Obi-Wan had the second quarter. There's no way that's first quarter. No way.
No.
Something else Star Wars outside of Mandalorian and Bad Batch that has started filming yet to be able to come out next year.
Right.
So I'm like, you can't do Obi-Wan, you can't do Book of Boba, then Obi-Wan in like March. And then have that long ass gap and then give us Bad Batch in October and then end the year on the Mandalorian. That's too much of a gap. I see them trying to space it out. So Obi-Wan hits Bad Batch and then Bad Batch hits Mandalorian. So I don't know. Because remember, we had Star Wars back to back this year. We had Bad Batch, then we had the anime Star Wars, and now we're getting Book of Boba.
Yeah. Hopefully we do get something in the first quarter. That's fucking big gap, goddamn, because we won't get a movie until May. You know what I mean? That's
I'm with you. Because we've said this, Joel.
I mean, Morbius is in January, but that's not really, it's in and out.
Oh, no. I mean, we're getting content between now and then. Like, me and you will have our CW shows and whatnot. I just strictly like a Disney Plus show is what I'm referring.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I do want a series after Hawkeye, and of course Book of Boba. So what's after Book of Boba is really the question. In January, there's always got to be something because WandaVision wasn't that long, right? How long was WandaVision? I mean,
Joel, we blinked and it was WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. What if?
But we were also coming off a year where we had nothing, almost.
Right. But they didn't have to line it up. They didn't have to line it up as close as they did. Because if you think about it, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier had nothing to do with Shang-Chi. So there wasn't a need to hurry up and get those things out before the release of that movie. Right. So that's why I'm saying I think they just understood if we got it, put it out. So my question is, Miss Marvel got moved back to the fourth quarter. So that's fourth quarter. So I'm like, does Moon Knight maybe take second quarter? Maybe? I don't know. Because I'm also curious, because they're saying what if season 2 is next year? So you also got to squeeze that in for next year too. So I'm very curious. But all right, let's move. Oh, sorry. That's what I was trying to ask you. So what were your thoughts on a little small teaser for Book of Boba?
I didn't really see it. I saw the posters. I didn't watch the teaser.
Oh, okay. You didn't miss anything. It's him. The only thing you missed that was like really big was it showed him in the Bacta tube. And he was alluding to his survival being left for dead in Tatooine.
Okay.
It was just kind of alluding to whoever saved him put him in a Bacta tube, and that's what helped bring him back to life.
That's gonna be interesting then.
Yeah, that was interesting. You can watch it really quickly if you. It's literally 30 seconds while I'm talking. You want me to tag you in it real quick?
Sure, do that. That's easier.
I'm gonna tag you in it right now. All right, I just tagged you in it. So I'll talk about this a little bit while you watch it, and then I'll let you give your thoughts. Amy Pascal says Sony will have something to show regarding Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 very soon. That's interesting because that's a movie that doesn't come out till December of next year. So to show us something, whether it's a teaser or whatever, is interesting. I mean, because that's something I wouldn't mind if she said we're not getting anything till May or some shit like that, because it's so far out. And I hate that. Don't show me something, even if it's a tease, and then tell me I got to wait a whole calendar year to see it. I don't do that. Just put it out closer. Put it out closer to when the actual thing comes out. And then, of course, she's saying this is not the last movie that we are going to make with Marvel. This is not the last Spider-Man movie. I just love hearing Amy just talk her shit. I love you, Amy Pascal. You'll forever be the thorn in Kevin Feige's side. And I'll forever love you for that. There's one person Feige has a love-hate relationship with. It's 100% Amy Pascal. 100%.
Easily.
He loves to hate her.
He must give him ulcers. He's
like, I know on a daily basis, someone texts Kevin like, "Hey, Amy talked today," and she said, "What?" She said, "This is not the end for Spider-Man." Why did she say that? We just had Tom come out and say that it might be the end to hype up the movie. Why would she say stuff? And it's like, Kevin, I don't think anyone believed that his Peter was gonna die in this movie. Like, I don't think anyone believed Tom, so I think Amy's fine. But what did you think? You checked it out?
Oh, yeah, I'm very, very curious about that now. Like, who put him in there? You know, how long, when? You know, a lot of questions. Like, well, okay, intriguing.
And Joe was asking me, because I said, I was saying how Boba Fett is the third best bounty hunter in all of Star Wars, and he said, well, who's ahead of him? And I said, well, clearly number one is Cad Bane. Number two is Din Djarin, and then it's Boba. And that's mainly just because Cad Bane is the ultimate bounty hunter. There is no one better than Cad Bane. And this is all my opinion. This is not factual. But I put Cad Bane, and then Boba. So he asked me, he's like, well, do you think Cad Bane could show up? Like, how old would he be? And I said, I don't know if his age races. Let me flip it. If his race ages,
or if they do, they might do slowly, like the Wookiees. Who knows? He's an alien, so you can play with that.
Because here's the thing: if we had to give an age to how old he was in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, it would be in his mid-30s to early 40s. And remember, Boba was just a child in Clone Wars. So I'm like, that would make Cad Bane pretty old. So I don't know. But if there's anywhere that Cad Bane could pop up that would be very intriguing, it'd be the Book of Boba.
We've heard rumors that he's going to be in it, right?
I thought we did, but I wasn't sure. I could have sworn we did. It's very interesting because
I can't wait. That's dope.
Greatest bounty hunters of all time squaring off. I mean, I told you I cried just seeing Cad Bane show up in Bad Batch. When I heard the "Hello, little lady," I was like, "Oh my god, he did it! He brought back Cad Bane! Oh my god!" For anyone not understanding why he means so much to me, not Feige, Dave Filoni said they had recorded an episode where Cad Bane died, but it just never aired. So somewhere in a storage unit somewhere, in continuity, Cad Bane dead. So I'm like, the fact that he said, no, we can't kill that guy off. I'm like, that means there's some plans. There's some fun. Let me see. Oh, I did skip over this, and I didn't mean to. I want to go back to this because me and you are huge fans of what this show is going to be. Ivana Sakno,
whatever,
has been cast in the Ahsoka Disney Plus series in a mysterious role.
Yeah, undisclosed.
Everyone's been asking me who do I think it could be. It's Dave Filoni. It's very likely it's a completely new character. Even though you wouldn't really need to keep that secret if it's a completely new character because we wouldn't know who the hell that is. But to me, I know she can't be Thrawn. I know she can't be Ezra, and we just got Sabine. So I'm like, I don't really care about anybody else that's in this show. So I'm just waiting for those two castings. Sorry, Ezra and Thrawn. Once I get that, who knows? But maybe she's an Inquisitor.
Who knows? Possible. You have options.
No. Sorry, stupid Juwaan. No, there's no more Inquisitors. There are no more Inquisitors. That was stupid of me. I'm sorry. No, because this is after Vader died, and Vader made it personal to go out there and kill it.
This is the future, correct?
So no, there's no Inquisitor. So I don't know who she could be. Me and Joe were very excited for this because we've been loving this first season, even though it's the shittiest writing I've ever seen. But Chucky has been renewed for season 2.
Very excited.
I'm very excited. We were theorizing. How far are you in it before I start running my mouth? Because tomorrow,
the first 4 film tomorrow's finale. Because they just put it on now. Like it just popped up after. I had wrestling on in the background, so I was like, it might be last week's episode, I guess. So I think I saw the first 4 episodes. Let me check.
From episode 1. Oh shoot! Damn, I wish I knew that. I wanted to. Oh, they're doing a marathon of it, Joel.
Might as well just put it in the background.
Yeah, but this goes on until 6 a.m. You'll be asleep halfway through, like episode 3.
Yeah, I'm not watching it. I already saw the first 4, so that's why
Okay, so I'm not gonna run my mouth because me and Joe gave a theory on what we thought the end of this season could be, leading into a movie if they didn't get renewed.
right.
They got renewed, so that's just really interesting to see where they go from here.
But I'm very happy with it. It was a good show.
Me and Joe, what saves this show's horrible writing is how amazingly good Chucky is. Like if there was even 1 week where Chucky wasn't as spontaneous as he is, this show would just be a complete dumpster fire. Because
Trash.
Horrible. The writing is really bad, but Chucky is freaking amazing. So it carries it. So, but what else? I don't think we got much. Oh, shoot. What are your thoughts on Young Justice? We got to go through our TV shows now.
Good. It was good. Another good episode.
Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. I saw someone say this, Joel, and I'm like, I never thought about it because I didn't really pay him any mind. Someone was saying that. Remember Sensei? Remember the guy standing next to Sensei?
Mm-hmm.
Back to the island.
Mm-hmm.
They were theorizing that that's Jason.
I told you that, motherfucker.
Oh, you told me that. Okay, I'm like someone said that. Okay, so you said that. Okay, so you're saying because of.
So you saw it now? Is what you're saying?
I did see it now. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember we talked about it. You're like, I don't remember that. And I'm like,
yeah, I went back. I told you I was gonna go back, and I went back, and I saw it, and I was just like, I mean, I could see it. I'm
pretty sure.
Know
that's
why
exactly
he didn't head back.
Why what?
I said I just wouldn't know why at this point he didn't just head back.
I think he's still under his spell or whatever. They're not ready to bring him out, but I think that's definitely Jason because it was the same episode that they introduced Damien. So that was like
that is Jason. Yeah. That's an interesting route they're going because that means they're going the route that Ra's al Ghul fully knew everything that was going on and decided to train him. Because in the comics, he didn't train him.
No.
He
resurrected him.
That was it.
And he was trained by assassins, but it wasn't Ra's al Ghul. I forgot who it was. It's weird. So this might even make more sense. So we'll see.
I don't mind the connection, and if that is Jason, I'm completely fine with it. That's not a bad route to go. But I'm telling you, Joel, the more this show gives me the Bat family, the moister I get, and I don't even think that's a word.
It drowns in that shit. It's all Bat family.
It's like I want to see it in Batwoman. I just want to see it in Batwoman. You keep giving me all the kick-ass girls of the Bat family, and I'm like, bring them to life somewhere. Like, goodness gracious. So it's killing me, but I love this episode, man. I love anytime, as you know, Joel, they give me Artemis and they give me Cheshire. If it was up to me, they would be every fucking episode. But then it did, of course, and I'm just like, I don't know what Young Justice's problem is about getting grown men to cry. But I didn't need any of those scenes with Clark talking to his son about Connor being dead. I didn't need none of that shit.
That was sad. Like, oh, they went there.
I'm like, oh yeah, Lady Shiva's kicking butt. This is awesome. And then it's just like, I'm sorry, you're trying to make me cry now? I don't get it. Why?
Yeah, because it's just like get emotional. You're like how do you tell John? Like, yeah, the Connor's never coming back. Like, it's so emotional. You're like,
I love how his little kid brain was working too. He's just like, no, Wolf is here, and anytime Wolf is here, Connor's here. So clearly he's gonna be here. And it's just like, oh, right. Sweetheart, that's not how any of this works.
Oh, poor boy. You don't know.
Me and you, Joel, still don't believe that he's dead though.
I don't know. I didn't. Every time I think they're not dead, they stay dead. So like I'm still waiting for Wiley to come back, and I'm like sitting there like nothing.
Joel's waiting for the one episode where Wiley's go surprise, motherfucker, and it's like, I
knew it. I knew it. I was so shocked they killed him in the first couple episodes. Like that meme with the one guy with the like That's how I felt. I was like,
if I'm being honest with you, I didn't see Wally's death coming. That broke me. Where they're all running and he's just like, "Look, I'm not as fast as you."
I can't keep up. Like,
and it's like, "No, Wally, no, 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 no." What is it?
The opposite, because Wally is the fastest.
That's what I was about to say. What were they trying to say was going on with Wally that he wasn't the fastest?
I don't know. I do not know.
I thought the whole point was that he could keep up with Barry, if not be
faster. He's faster than Barry. But yeah, but in the show, it's not the case. He was just not faster than Barry.
It wasn't the case either. So.
That's also true.
It seems like we'll never get a Wally that lives up to who Wally really is.
Yeah, Wally was definitely goated and then put to the side. And then, once Barry came back, you're like, you were sitting in the corner and you're gonna like it.
If you think about it, it's like if they gave Robert Pattinson's Batman a Robin, and that Robin was more skilled than Bruce, and it's just like, wait a minute, hold on.
Well, it is awkward. Yeah.
It's like
that's because he took over as he was the Flash. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
Wally was the Flash. You know what I mean?
It was a moment where Dick Grayson was Batman,
but not like Wally was the Flash.
No, I get what you're saying.
Wally was the Flash for like 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And then they brought Barry back, and it was all over. So you're gonna have to just sit this one out, kids.
Like,
but I'm the Flash.
It's just like, man, Wally's doing a great job, and all of a sudden, it's just like, well, Barry's back now. And it's like, so, well, he's gonna take things over, and it's like, no. I've been here this entire time putting in work. He's got to be my sidekick now. No, sorry, that's not how this works.
You got to take up Jay's costume. Let Jay die. Imagine.
Joel's just like, all right, someone's got Jay.
Someone's got to go. Sorry.
God. So yeah, I really am enjoying Young Justice. I'm not going to be ready when they go on break because I know they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger. I know.
A new arc starts, I think, this week. We have a new arc starting. It's a magical arc, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool. Sign me up. I love anything Justice does. They've never missed ever. Not one episode.
Yeah. The writing is so on par now. Like, wow, that's pretty. It's so emotional. They're not allowed to do that now. You know?
It got more adult. Like
way more adult. Yeah.
It aged literally with the characters, so where you're now just like, what?
Yeah.
One episode where they're just like, man, they just got finished sleeping with each other. It's like, whoa, you're getting too grown now, Young Justice. Wait a minute.
Well, relax here.
Well, ease now. All right, so we can go into Batwoman.
Word, son.
Joel, they did exactly what I said I did not want them to do. And it's gonna make me hate this second half of the season. When I saw the preview to what we can expect when it comes back from break, and her literally said, well, Batman had Joker and you have me, and he's in a suit, and I was just like,
yeah,
why do they keep doing this? I don't need, because you decided to skip Batman, you giving me replicas of everything Batman. Just give me new original characters. She doesn't need a Joker. If Joker's dead,
as long as he doesn't call himself the Joker, I'm okay. Just be something different, you know. He wants to be what are they called? Inspired by the Joker? Fine. You know, he obviously fell in love with him after he got shocked in the head.
Just be careful with that, because Gotham thought they were being creative with the.
They were fine until they got weird, but
no, Joel, it was a concept that you had in the first time you did it, and then you said, no, we're gonna progress him to where now he's a twin. There's another half and all this.
Yeah, it got real complicated. You're like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have to
do so hard. Like,
yeah, you really are. Like,
Joker. One Joker, that's it. Goodness gracious.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous.
But we now have what's her name? Fully embracing the dark side as Poison Ivy. So now, Joel, I can go back to what I said to you last week. I don't think she can be redeemed, because now it's not Poison taking over her. She's feeding into it.
She is, but I don't think she's fully her. I still don't.
What, fully Poison Ivy?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe she's fully herself. You know what I mean? I just still believe she's under.
I don't know. I'm like they made a point in that bar. She started to figure out what she could do, and she was using it and even saying like, "This feels good."
Again, I think she's whatever, but I don't think she's irredeemable. She hasn't really killed anyone yet, really. You know, and when she was blacking out. So now she's just fully embracing the poison ivy part, huh?
Didn't she kill the cop when they were escaping in the RV?
I don't remember. I just know. Point is, I don't think she is irredeemable.
All right. Well, we'll see.
I think she can be saved. Is what I'm trying to like her friends before her. I do believe she can be redeemed.
Well, let's see how they redeem her, and let's see how they get this poison ivy abilities out of her. Because I'm gonna just tell you this now: if Mary keeps even a semblance of this power and rejoins the Bat family, I'm done. I'm done. You got Luke as Batwing, you got Ryan as Batwoman, and now you have what's her name having ability? No, not everyone needs something. She's just a doctor.
She would be the only one with abilities if that's the case.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I meant. I meant the.
I'm just saying.
the alter ego thing. Like she's just a doctor. It's as simple as that. She's just a doctor. That's it. That's fine. They need.
I don't need her joining the battle.
I don't do that whatsoever. You know exactly what I mean because we watched The Flash. It's only a matter of time before Chester's just like, Barry, I can open black holes again, and it's like, oh no, like
you're right.
Doing something.
He had powers.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that the showrunners did too. I don't need them remembering anything. All right, so I think. Oh, power.
I saw the first one. I didn't see this today's or last night's.
What else came out? Was that it? Was that everything?
We talked. I am on the last episode of Cowboy Bebop.
And how are you liking it?
Really good. I really like it. Right? I really do. Yeah, I really like it. I want to see more. Can't wait to see more. So
I don't know what to hate.
I'll finish it tomorrow. What else? I finished. I wish I finished He-Man.
Man, was He-Man not good, bro?
It was very good. I don't even like He-Man. I'm like, I wanna like him. like.
Oh, by the way, Joe sided with you. I told Joe because we were talking, man, and I told him. I said, oh no, I hated Thundercats, and I said that's a whole thing between me and Joel. I despise Thundercats. And he's like, how do you hate Thundercats? And I'm like, I said, I swear to God, I said, I know it's not now. I know. I swear to God, I thought it was just He-Man with cats. I swear to God. I swear he had the whole thing he would ride on. He had the sword to the sky with a chant. He had the
he didn't ride anybody. He didn't have he didn't have a cat. He didn't have a battle cat. He had the car. They had the car. They all had the car.
Oh, cars
with them.
Cars. You know? Okay. Like, I swear to God, I thought it was
Snarf.
I swear to God, I did. Because I'm like, even Snarf resembled He-Man's I can't think of the name now. I'm blanking out. But He-Man's tiger when he's scrawny and afraid of everything.
I mean, they don't resemble each other at all. But they're both are they bitches? Yes.
That's what I'm referring to. Yes.
The Snarf's this little animal, like fucking what's his name is?
What is he even?
Fucking giant green tiger, little bitch.
Snarf do though.
Cringer. That's what I mean. Snarf has a reason to be afraid. He's gonna eat that motherfucker.
No, but I'm saying he doesn't do anything.
No, that's just shit.
Oh, Snarf.
It's legit a pet. It's just there. He's like, oh.
Oh man, but no, I want to give Kevin Smith so much praise for what he did with that series. Joe said he binged it in a day, and I'm like, it's only a few episodes, so I can understand that. And it's hard to just say, you know what, I'm done for today, because they're all just so good. So it kind of picks you up in momentum and just kind of carries you. So I appreciated it, and I love the series. So
I agree. It was so good. I mean, the whole Savage He-Man thing was pretty cool. The whole chain, fact that they had to team up and then he eventually turned on him anyway. Of course he was. Of course he was. It was perfect. They did it. So, and then they set up for the next round of villain, like the whole techno shit. I'm like, okay, now we're talking. Now I'm like, and then Tila's the sorceress. They got a new. I knew she was gonna be fucking Man-at-Arm. I was calling that shit whole time. But yeah, really cool setup for the future of the He-Man Masters of the Universe. And like for a series I never really gave a fuck about, aside from the movies, because I really loved that movie because I was young and impressionable, and he didn't look like a bitch in that movie, so I really liked that. So so moving forward, it was just really cool. And I had a He-Man. It's not like I didn't have. I had a He-Man toy. I had a He-Man toy, one, and I didn't have any of his shit. I don't know where any of that shit was. It was just He-Man naked, basically.
Of course. That's how Joel treats his He-Man. Did we have a conversation about gargoyles when me, you, and Pete were together? No. Okay, so I had an argument with Joe and Kitty because they were talking about how much they love Thundercats, and I was saying, as good as Thundercats is, it's not better than gargoyles. And they're like, oh, fuck gargoyles. Gargoyles isn't nowhere near Thundercats. And I'm like, y'all done got gargoyles fucked up. Gargoyles is if anything, they're
first two seasons of Gargoyles.
What'd you say?
I said at least the first two seasons of Gargoyles. I mean, you might have something to compete.
Sure. I don't
think good. I don't think you understand how good Thundercats. Like the potential behind Thundercats is real, son.
Gargoyles too.
I don't disagree. I'm not trying to come. You're the one putting them against each other. I never once said it like one or the other.
For sure, but I just said they're at least on par with each other. At least. One doesn't blow the other out of the water. That's for damn sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so to Cowboy Bebop, you said you did watch the anime, right?
Huh?
You did watch the anime at Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. Okay,
so when you get to the end of the final episode, you're gonna go, oh shit, they did it. They did it. Because I said that for 20 minutes straight. I'm just, oh my God. I didn't think we would get it this season, and then just put it right in there.
I just realized that the Cowboy Bebop on Netflix is not the whole anime. It's like a partial, like a quarter of the anime. You know, they didn't do the whole thing. Yeah, because Ed, I'm in the last episode. I haven't seen Ed yet. I'm like, Ed comes in like the 4th, 5th episode or some shit.
How many episodes do they have?
26.
How many are there? Because there's only one season.
Yeah, 26 episodes, one season.
Oh, no, you're saying Netflix doesn't have the whole thing. How many, where do they
I'm saying the Netflix is, in terms of the comparing it to the show, the anime.
I get you now.
The storyline, it's like, it took 10 episodes to get to Ed, because I know they're going to get there eventually, but I'm talking about, it didn't take that long to get to Ed there.
Oh, no, Ed was off the bat in the cartoon.
I mean, you get there eventually. Like it took, like I said, it takes like 5 or 6 episodes before you get to Ed. Same thing with Faye. It takes a little bit. They're not there in the beginning, just like in the show, but the show lengthens it.
He stole the show. Don't get me wrong. John as God, why am I blanking so much?
Spike.
John's show is Spike. Yes, is absolutely 100% unequivocally the best character in this. But Faye, she because she's so drastically different than the cartoon. Drastically different. She's way more flamboyant and expressionary in this than she is in the cartoon. She's very mild-mannered in the cartoon. She's not saying fuck 100 million times. She's not telling them to go fuck yourself or nothing like that. So she's different than in the cartoon. But I like the change.
Oh, pain in the ass though. That part is
100%. 100%.
I want to shoot him.
I loved Joel. When I tell you, I could not stop laughing when he's like, Spike, put the gun down. Just let me, just let me shoot her once. Like, Spike, put the gun down.
Just a little bit.
And I can even say that what's his name's character is different than in the cartoon. He is more. I will say this: I don't have a problem with it, but he is way more jive turkey sucker than, than anything else.
I don't think so. I think he's like so much. He sounds so much like Jet. It's insane. I'm like, God, they sound almost exactly like from the English translation of
Oh,
the anime.
that's what you're saying. Okay,
I
okay.
don't. I never watched it in Japanese, so I only know it from like the American dubbed version of it. And he sounds just like the Jets sound exactly alike. Exactly. I'm like, that's insane. Now he didn't pull that shit out of his ass. So I appreciate him sounding 100% different from what he sounded like in Luke Cage. You know what I mean?
That is true. But no, so I'm loving this show. I can't wait till you're done so we could talk more. And then do a review show about it. I've been waiting for you to finish it so we could do a review show.
Well, I'll get there.
Because I need people that liked it. I don't want to do a show full of people that didn't like it, and I'm sitting here trying to defend the shit myself.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I'm sorry. I know some people.
Like
I don't know why
people. I don't understand the hate that it was being given. I don't understand it. It's mostly from, to be fair, Joel, it's mostly from people who didn't watch the cartoon.
Oh, okay. Which is, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Then you might not like the cartoon anime, you know?
I don't understand it because I'm like, if it's based off of something and you didn't see what it's based off of, you don't have a full concept of what you're saying you don't like. Yeah, the full scope.
I mean, I think it's. I mean, as a solo feature that someone that did, I think it works just fine by itself without the anime. I don't understand the bitching. To be fair, but whatever. I like the aesthetic of it. You know, it kind of has, like you said, like this jazz. It has a '70s jazz feel, but that's how the anime is too. You know, but this one to me puts their fucking like in all the way in. Like they
I love his fighting style in this because the character is a huge fan of Bruce Lee. That was his inspiration. So I did like how the fighting was very crisp in the
this style is supposed to be the same. That's why. But I'll say this. What was it? The character, like he does a really great job with Spike. I really think they could have done a better job with the hair, but I don't. The hair is not terrible. I think they just could have done a better. And like hopefully if there's another season, hopefully there is. They tweak certain things for all the characters, so we just get them they more and more into like what we know. But I think they did a great job with Spike. They did a great job with Faye. Great job with Jet. Some of this, like, it took me a little bit to get used to Vicious, but I'm now kind of used to it. So especially that, like the 9th episode, I was really digging that. That was really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to finish it, bro. You're gonna love that final episode so fucking much, man. Yeah. So I personally can't wait. So we can talk more about it. What else? Do we have anything?
I'm almost done with the Guardians game.
Oh,
I'm like, what? I'm on the final battle, but I didn't fight it yet. But I was gonna do it today, but I'm like, you know what? Got a brand new TV coming in. I'm gonna do it then.
I did appreciate in this game when Rocket brought up the fact that Guardians was just himself, Groot, and Quill.
Mm-hmm.
That's never, ever, ever been the case in any medium of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I thought that was really interesting. Like that would be a unique threesome between those three guys before finding Drax and Gamora. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I'm like, those are the most uncontrollable personalities out of the team. Yes. So it is exciting those three were a team before adding the others on.
There's a lot of interesting. That game does a really, especially narratively, does a really good job. Like it got shitted on a lot before people played it, and I know a lot of people are backtracking now because that shit was really good. It was really good.
And yeah, the story's great. The story is just great. It's really, really, really good. And it opens itself to so much going forward. So much more Guardian story left. You could do Ronin. You know what I'm saying? You could do the Kree War. You could do so much more with this story.
Yeah, I want to see more. Hopefully there will be more, but I definitely want to see more.
And have it as a rotational. a rotational play.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe they change the play there where you can rotate. You can choose who you want to be the main focus.
Right.
Because really, it's just that you navigate everyone through Peter.
Right.
But
honestly, all they should do is just that at each checkpoint, like how Ultimate Alliance was, you can change a character, or you can just.
But I mean, even if they don't change, I like Star-Lord, so I'm not really the best person to be complaining. But the gameplay is great. I love playing with Star-Lord. It's really cool. But going back and I love how the time slows down because if you're down, it's so hectic. It has to slow down so you can tell people what to do. It's like I'm gonna get shot. But it's like really cool. Like everyone has like 4 moves basically, and you gotta basically work to it. And then it takes the whole game for him to basically get all the elements for his gun.
Right.
The last one he gets a fire one. So I'm like,
that's. By the way, I cried because I'm just like, I'll never fucking see that in the MCU. And that's all I've ever wanted was the element. It's literally the coolest thing about Star-Lord. And I'm like, he shoots out like little plasma beams or some shit. And I'm like, no, the element gun is the dopest thing about Peter. Because he could literally do anything of the elements. And it's like, that's so dope. So dope. He could freeze people, set them on fire. Oh, never fucking forgive James Gunn. You say he's done after Guardians 3?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
He said he's done, so.
Yeah, cool. Whoever takes over Guardians next, switch those fucking guns out. Give me element gun.
Upgrade.
Come on now. Goodness gracious. But yeah, did you get to the part of a special monster?
What are you talking
about? In the Guardians game.
I told you I'm at the final battle.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Bing Fang Fu.
Yeah. The way Drax talks about Bing Fang Fu is hysterical.
I freaking love it.
Drax is so funny in that fucking game. It's like,
I spent all this year up until September just praying of some inkling of Fing Fang Foom out of Shang-Chi. Well, who knew Guardians would be where I get Fing Fang Foom?
Yep, they go to catch it. They capture him and shit for the Lady Hellbender.
Yeah. I love Drax in this game, man. He's fucking awesome.
They're all great. They do such a good job. Like right now I'm using mostly just the movie costumes because I got them all. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna wear movie costumes. So I'll switch it out, but it's pretty cool. Like I like the regular costumes for all of them. Aside from, I'm not a huge fan of the way they did Drax's tribal tattoo. I'm not a huge fan of that, but
yeah, I don't like Groot. I don't like how Groot looks.
Groot looks fine. He's just thick. Bro.
I hate that look. I prefer the movie look.
He's thin. He's thin in the movie. It's just there's no extra bulk. He's bulkier in the game, and they gave him like this harness so Rocket could stand on the back.
I did think that was cute.
Yeah.
So that game is a lot of fun. What else we got?
I'm watching so much shit, dog. It's crazy.
What are you watching?
Like I'm saying, I just finished that, right? And the He-Man, I just finished He-Man. Tiger King season 2, I finished just recently.
I started it and it looked more like a almost like a mockumentary. I thought it was gonna be like what season 1 was. And they were shooting it during COVID, so I'm like, I'm not really that interested.
It was good though. It was only 5 episodes. Good, because you get that more into all the extra shit that went on, and he's in jail at this point. So it's like, well, will he come out? They basically kind of leave you hanging. Like, will he?
No, the
answer.
He won't.
We won't know. We don't know. It's still too soon.
I think he was asking for leniency to be let out because he was sick or something. He's trying to get the fuck up out of there.
Of course. Who wants to be in jail?
I think he also shouldn't have publicly talked about trying to kill someone. What else are you watching?
I just finished. I'm still in the middle of fucking Supernatural, but that'll never end.
Oh shoot, we gotta talk Dexter. That was a huge episode.
I didn't see it yet. I was gonna watch it tonight. That's the thing. I forget. Like I watch so much shit. I forget what I'm watching half the time.
This was the game-changing episode.
Oh, I watched Arcane. That's pretty good too.
Oh, no, part of me wants to try the game. I want to try the game first.
Does it make a difference?
League of Legends.
The people that play the game don't really pay attention to the story. Not gonna lie. I've been to those fan events.
That's my favorite part of the games. I could just watch the story and never play a game.
That's what I'm saying. The people that play the game want to play the game, but if you're playing the game, most of them don't pay attention to the story. They just play the game.
Are you familiar?
My cousin was obsessed with this game, but I could tell him, ask him about the story. He probably knows shit about the story. To be honest.
I understand how people play like that. I don't understand.
That's how they play. I have a couple people that used to play the shit out of that game, and I used to have it on my computer. I just never played it. It looks cool though. I mean, so far it's a good show.
I said I at least need to know what the hell's going on.
It's a battle, so you don't really necessarily. It's almost like a fighting game. It plays like I don't know if you played old school Warcraft.
No.
Kind of plays like almost like Diablo-ish.
Oh, okay. I played Diablo. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
It's sort of like that.
I understand.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's a cool thing, and there's so many fucking heroes, or legends, they say. But I don't know I don't know any of them. So like that's why I watch the show. I'm like, maybe I'll learn something.
Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe it'll teach me a few lessons about life.
Yeah.
What else am I watching? I started Yellow Jackets. That's pretty wild. Yellow Jackets, time. The girls that go on the field trip and the plane crashes.
Oh yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I started Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. Every time I watch Yellowstone, I'm like, Kevin Costner could have been Batman back in the day. 100%. The more I hear him talk in Yellowstone, the more he sounds exactly like Kevin Conroy. I mean, exactly like Kevin Conroy.
I remember Kevin Costner back in the day. He didn't give me Batman vibes.
To be fair, before he was casted, would you have thought anything about Michael Keaton?
I was very young when he got casted. My first interaction with him was Batman.
Okay, so actually, looking back, could you have seen why people thought Michael Keaton? That's going to be Batman? So
yeah. Kevin Costner. Did that with Ben Affleck? I was like, whoa. I didn't see. I was like, what? Okay.
I'm like, what kind of Bruce Wayne is he going to be? Like any Bruce Wayne? Like I don't think Ben could really do that. And then when you saw how big he got, it's like, oh, you're doing the Dark Knight. I get you. But yeah, Yellowstone is a great freaking show. Western. I'm telling you, the guy who did that show also did the mayor of Kingstown.
I haven't started that yet.
Oh man, can't wait till you start that. But I desperately want this guy. Okay, do you know who's behind those two shows, Joel? Do you remember in season 1 of what's the motorcycle show?
Motorcycle show?
Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
You remember the sheriff, not the old guy, but the young guy that was trying to run the sheriff out of town so he could put a hold on the Sons of Anarchy.
Remember, I just don't remember what it looks like.
Okay, but you remember, so that guy who played that character is who created Yellowstone and Mayor of Kingstown.
Interesting.
So when I found that out, I was just like, oh, I have seen this guy before. That's interesting. But it's like a Western show, and the more I watch it, the more I'm just like, bro, I know no one's asking for it, no one cares about it, but I would love for this team to come together and give me a really good Jonah Hex. I know no one cares. No one cares about Jonah Hex, but I thought what the movie did was going along the lines of the right thing, and then they just horribly messed it up. But Jonah Hex is a very intriguing character.
I like Jonah Hex. I would have put him on Legends, honestly.
I would like to see an HBO Max Jonah Hex show. That's all I'm saying. So the way he's handling this Western, I'm like, oh, he could nail Jonah Hex easily.
Jonah Hex goes through a lot of shit. My first interaction with Jonah Hex was Batman, the animated series.
I don't remember the episode of that.
Yeah, remember the whole the old dude that they capture, and they go in its flashbacks.
The Conroy one?
Excuse me.
No, you're talking about Conroy's Batman.
Yeah. Then they have as a flashback episode to this time period, and then he's still fucking alive. He's like 100+ years old. That's Jonah Hex. Like, oh shit! Well, we knew it was Jonah Hex because it was a flashback, but he was still alive, which was a surprise.
Like, how are you alive? Doesn't matter.
Old. He's like,
all right, so we got the Flash tomorrow, or technically today. We got the Chucky finale, but you're still working on
that. I gotta remember that I'm still watching some shit. Well, now that I'm catching up on all my Netflix shit, it'll be easy to keep track.
Let me know when you into Dexter, because this was a huge episode. Like,
I'll watch it right now once I'm done, but I need to do it soon, or I will fall asleep and have to leave for tomorrow morning.
All right, so let's let you get out of here. Guys, we're gonna keep going to this video format. So please let us know in the comment section if you guys enjoyed this episode, what topics you guys would like us to talk about, what you agreed with us, what you disagreed with us. We love doing this podcast. Much to do about nothing, where we kind of it's a bag of anything. You put your hand in the bag, you're liable to pull out anything. That's what this show is. So thank you guys. For a lot of you this is your first time watching or listening to Much to Do About Nothing. Please join the ride.
Yeah, comment, let us know what you think. If you like it, keep coming back. If not, if it's too long, let us know. If it's too short, let us know.
Yeah,
God, it's too short for anybody, but yes, tell us anything you want.
Yes, let us know, please destroy that like button and comment. And that's all we got for you guys on this week's episode. Till next time, peace.